Okay. Good morning. I've been thinking about my hair and I need a break from a bun for real. And it's so hot that I can't have my hair down. It's too long. I'm sure there's a win-win. Get some braids or something going on. Good morning. I hope everyone's having a major good day. Oh my goodness. So good. I am a little bit late this morning, so I got to my I'm in the Dominican with my 7-year-old, my youngest daughter, and my friend who I'm staying with has two daughters and they're in school. So my daughter has been taking virtual school. So this morning we got to bring them. The school let my daughter go to school with them. So she went to school. She's 7, and we were driving there. Well, a little bit this morning as she was getting ready. You know, we have a word at our house and we say that nerve sighted. So that's I'm nervous and I'm excited. And we acknowledge that even when we're doing exciting things, we can feel nervous about them. Even when there's things we want to do, there's still fear. And it's normal. And it was such a beautiful reminder when we were bringing all the girls to school and my daughter was expressing that, and it made me think about business and our mindset. And that as a 40 some odd year old, I am exactly the same as her. There's a lot of moments where I get really nerve sighted. I'm clear on what I want. I'm creating the things in my life and it feels big and scary. And I still have fear. And I'm still nervous and I question myself and I question if things are going to work out. And my children are not immune to the mindset tools I personally use and I teach my clients. And it was so funny this morning because she was sharing that, and I said, okay, well, let's stop. And we started to implement tools together. And I've talked about this. I do talk about this tool a lot. So I'm going to share it again because it serves me so much. I use it every day, and obviously my kids use it as well. So the event is her going to a new school. Luckily, she knows two of the kids already, and there's going to be a group of kids that she's never met before. So she's feeling excited to meet them, and she's feeling nervous about meeting them. So we just really identify what's actually happening. And what we'll do then, because she's thinking in the future, what happens if they don't like me? What happens if I spill food on myself? All of these things a 7-year-old thinks, which are not terribly different than the things that adults think. What if I make a fool of myself? What if I look silly? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I show up on a Facebook Live and I just blow it? What if all of those things happen? So what we do is instead of what I call future tripping, which is creating stories about the future that haven't happened, and those are all clearly disempowering stories, we start to look at evidence of the past experiences of things that went right. So we started going through that. And for my 7-year-old, and maybe even for adults, sometimes it's helpful to have a coach or a friend or someone who can start that pattern going for you. Because sometimes when we're stuck in the fear, we have a little bit of tunnel vision and it's everything sucks in and we can only think of, the worst case scenario. So I said to her, let's think about some times in the past where you were nervous and excited, and things worked out better than you even could have imagined. And so I said, coming down to the Dominican, you hadn't met your two friends that live here yet. Remember you were nervous and excited about that? She's like, yeah, and we're having so much fun. They're my best friends. I love 7-year-olds. We meet for 10 seconds. We're best friends forever. So good. And I'm like, yes, that's a really great example. And so her and I started going through back and forth. And I think I gave her maybe 2 examples of times where she felt nervous and things worked out. And then she started and she kept going and she kept going. Because I've said in the past, our brain's job is to prove ourselves right. So if we're starting to look for evidence of all the good things that have happened in the past, our brain will help create that. We just have to what do I want to say? Like we have to like remove the block about it. Because if we're like want to be right about things going wrong, it'll block the actual evidence of things that have gone right in the past. So once you start on that train, then you get more. If you can come up with 1 example, you can come up with 2 examples and 3 examples and 4 examples and so on. So that's definitely one part of it. Hey, Kim, good morning. I hope you're having a beautiful day. So good. It's good. I love seeing you on here. Thank you. So that's one step that we do. So we definitely look at our past and we create evidence of examples where we've felt these feelings, we've had these experiences, and all the things that can go right. And then the next thing, instead of future tripping in a disempowering way, okay, I'm nervous. What are all the things that could go wrong here? One of my mentors will say, what's the empowering story that you could create instead? And so that's where we focus. Our attention is, okay, tell me all the things tell me how, it's intention setting and it's empowering thinking. So we'll say, okay, tell me everything that can go right today. And isn't that an interesting thing that we don't typically do in this society? We start to think like, let's think of all the things that can go wrong so we can mitigate risk. And yes, of course, that's important, but we just lean so much that way that it's like our natural instinct is like, what's going to go wrong and how can I be prepared? So yes, important. And what can go right? What can go right for you today? So that we started talking about that. She's like, well, I could play and I'm going to dance and I'm going to have recess and I'm going to meet new friends and we're going to, she's in class with one of her friends and they made a bagel sandwich and they're going to split it and they each got their own cream cheese that they like, and it sounds silly perhaps, but it's this exact thought. Like we think we've evolved from our 7-year-old selves, and the truth just is that we haven't. The truth is we get stuck in these same patterns. There's just different scenarios that we're putting ourselves in. So my invitation today, I don't know if you can hear that, there's a big truck drive by. So my invitation to you today is to think about the situations you're putting your nerve sighted about. What is your next step? What is the next thing that you're going to do that's uncomfortable? Because if we think about this, like my daughter going to the school is an uncomfortable situation for her. So she wants it, she's excited, but every time we're out of our comfort zone, that's when the stories of everything that can go wrong that's when that's going to pop up. So I'm going to do the thing that I'm going to just embarrass myself or make a fool of myself. I mean, I'm at the point now where I kind of say, and so what if I do? It is not, did you die? No, I'm not going to. So I'm embarrassed. We can move through it. There's not much that I feel like I haven't said or done that where I've been a little bit silly, and the only thing about getting older is I have less and less F's to give. So, and more, just like show up more authentically. So that's what I'm teaching them. So what is the situation that you're doing where you're just getting uncomfortable in, specifically in your business, and how can you show up in that area of discomfort and look at previous times where you've been uncomfortable and how they've just absolutely worked out for you, and start to create that empowering story of what is possible, because both are possible for you. Kim, we grow when we're uncomfortable. Yes. Every time we're stretching ourselves and we grow and I think we get to learn that lesson about ourselves. And every time we grow and we're uncomfortable and we persevere through it, we're creating more evidence of those times where we were uncomfortable and we did the damn thing anyway, and so many amazing things came out of it. Everything good is always coming out of our comfort zones. Well, thank you. Thanks for that, Kim. I appreciate that. So, what are you doing? Let me know. Comment below if you're watching the replay. Hashtag replay. Let me know, what are you doing to get uncomfortable, to get nerves sighted today, and how are you going to compile that evidence for you for the next time that you are taking those big steps out of your comfort zone. Can't wait to hear. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.